If you follow what I'm about to tell you to do, in the next 30 days, I guarantee you will lose weight. Is what I wish someone told me 5 years ago when I lost 80 pounds. There wasn't this magical pill like Ozempic or Retta you could take like you could back then. There wasn't something that you could just fucking follow and instantly just magically have what you want. So I had to craft through hours, days, months of crafting and making a system for myself to actually lose body fat. And better yet, I'm not the individual that wants to track calories all day. I'm not the individual that wants to starve all day. I want to enjoy my life, and that's exactly what I do following this 4-step system. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys with the first thing on how to guarantee weight loss without tracking a calorie is eat what God intended you to eat. I'm sorry if you can't see this, but eat what God intended. Boom, okay. When I say eat what God intended, right? I build my life around that rule. I try not to stick with protein powder, right? It's a good supplement to use, but it is a powder. It is not truly real. So why would I lean on that? Why would I lean on these low calorie, high protein, processed meals that you see at Walmart that have 50 ingredients? It's not going to treat you the same, and better yet, it's not going to give you the same physique. And also, if you're going to track calories, those aren't going to be the best bang for your buck. That's not going to be the best thing for you. So that's why I eat what God intended me to eat, because it's going to take care of me the best, right? I don't go out of my way to make a giant meal that's perfect, low calorie, high protein with all the cottage cheese and all this extra stuff like macaroni cheese sauce and this, I don't even know. There's so much shit out there nowadays that I just eat real food, right? So when I say I eat what God intended me to eat, I can break it down. Meat, right? If I have meat, it's just one source of meat, one ingredient meat, right? It's not like rocket science where it's like plant-based meat or whatever the fuck you guys see nowadays, like chicken sausage or protein bites, whatever it is. I try to stick to one ingredient. So beef, chicken, steak is under beef, but ground turkey, fish, right? I stick to those things. Sardines, all these things I eat, and because it's one ingredient. From there, I'll have a carb source. So we'll say you need one protein, one carb source, and then one fat source, right? So for my carb source, I will stick to, I would say, potatoes. I'll do potatoes, sweet potatoes, white rice, quinoa maybe, but a lot of times it's just potatoes. And then a lot of my carbs, which I'm covering now, sorry, a lot of my carbs come from fruit. So bananas, dates, pineapple, mango, kiwis, avocados is a fruit, but it doesn't have as many carbs, but I get my carbs from that. And then when we get into fats, my fats come from ghee, beef tallow, avocado, the steak that I eat, right? Like these bring me what I need, and I just stick to those foods. The reason I stick to it, right, over time is because it's super hard to eat a big calorie surplus when you're eating very satiating foods like potato, sweet potato, and chicken breast, and maybe a vegetable, right? They're one, gonna be low calorie, have packed with way more minerals and vitamins than your body can get from a protein powder, and then second is it's healthy. And you're going to not overeat that. So you're staying in a deficit and you're getting the macros that you need. That's why I believe in eating what God intended you to eat. God did not intend us to be very unhealthy and obese, right? It's slothful. It's sinful, right? Our bodies are temples. We are called to have healthy bodies by God. And if we were having these processed meals, then we're going to be unhealthy, right? God did not call us to do that, right? He's not the author of confusion. He's going to provide us a healthy body, so eat what he intended us to eat. Second thing is I build my meals around, protein. So I build my meals around protein, right? So I don't know why I did that, but when I say build my meals around protein, I'm sure you've heard this all day, right? Protein. It's gonna help you lose fat, it's gonna keep you full. You've probably heard all the tips and tricks in the world. But when I say build my meal around protein, when I'm not tracking calories, I need to make sure that I'm getting the amount of protein that I need to get before I start to fill up my plate with anything else. So if I have a big plate right here, right? I'm gonna always weigh my protein first. I don't track anything, but I will weigh my protein to make sure, okay, I know 8 ounces of chicken is 50 grams of protein. That's what I'm going to hit. So I'll have my 8 ounces of chicken. Let's just say all these little dots are chicken. So I would say like half my plate is chicken breast. So now I know that I'm getting my 50 to 60 grams without tracking it. And if I had 3 meals like that a day, I'm eating 180 grams of protein, I am good. I'm eating what I need to burn fat and to build muscle and to actually have my metabolism and my hormones and my body to process at the best of its ability because I'm putting protein first on my plate. After that, then I can get the tiny fixings. Like if I get more potatoes now, and now we get our potatoes, and let's say I put avocado on the side, now I get my avocado, but you get the gist, right? Like I'm filling up my plate first with this protein. And why I do that is because one, I need to make sure I'm getting my protein, and then two, I need to make sure I don't get so full off the other ingredients, right? Vegetables will get you full fast. Some people don't think that these vegetables aren't going to get you full fast. They will, right? People don't think that the potatoes won't get you full fast. They get you full. They're one of the most filling things that you could eat is a sweet potato, right? So that's why I focus on getting my protein first because everything else can fill in the blank. And it's much easier to fill in the blank, but protein is going to fill you up faster. So that's why I stick with that first. Third thing is 90-10 rule, all right? So I am not perfect. I can get on this camera and for hours tell you how I'm not perfect, right? But with me not being perfect, I built a safe-proof system for me to actually have a little bit of wiggle room. So 90% of the time, I'm eating real food, right? I'm eating what God intended me to eat 90% of the time. But the other 10% of the time, I'm going to have what I want. Like I really like calamari, right? I really like wings, right? Calamari, wings, yes. Chicken wings. Calamari is squid or octopus, whatever the two. I always mix it up. But at the end of the day, yes, God, some food that was on the planet. But all the fried stuff that goes on top of the wings, the fat that's fried in, all those things, the sauce that comes on the side of my calamari, the sauce that comes on my wings, like it's not a lot of the time is not what I need in my body, but I'm not perfect. So if I have 3 meals a day, and then 3 times 7 is 21, so 21, if that's 10%, I get 2 meals. 2 meals a week to eat something that's quote unquote unhealthy, right? I don't like to use the term cheat meal, but if I get 10% of the time I get to eat an unhealthy meal, then I get 2 meals a week. So whether I decide to use those 2 meals in just meals, or maybe I break it down in like a snack here and there, whatever the case may be, I don't kind of stray away from the path. I always stick to that 90-10. Because in the past, I've strayed away from that 90-10 meal. And the 90-10 started to 80-20. And then 80-20 turned into like 75-25. And then before you know it, I'm sitting on my ass trying to lose weight again because after 2 years of doing so, I got so like flexible and comfortable that I just wanted to eat whatever. So I would eat fried Oreos or cinnamon sugar pretzels or fried chicken snack wraps, like whatever the case may be. I was munching for a little bit. Like it was crazy. Like I was like a year and a half after I lost weight, it was nuts. But that's when I started to reel myself in and realize, okay, I still need to enjoy myself because it's super hard to just go 100%. Because if you do just go 100%, you're going to fall off. So I was like, all right, what's the best I can do to be strict, but also have fun? So the 90-10 rule, right? You've probably heard 80-20, but I follow 90-10. I like to be a little more strict on myself. So 10% of the time, I get 2 meals a week to eat as I please. Other times, I just eat the real foods, and you don't have to track a calorie. Don't feel guilty. Don't beat yourself up. You just follow that rule. Last one I did to lose my weight without tracking a calorie, and a lot of people are going to be up for it, but I fasted. I would not eat at the start, right? My original fast, I would not eat is what fasting is no calorie at all. I wouldn't eat for 16 hours. And then I would eat for only 8 hours. So eat, not eat, right? And an E. Not for an eat for eat, whatever. I wouldn't eat for 16 hours, right? What does that look like? 12 to 8 p.m. I wouldn't eat, right? 11 to 7 p.m., right? Maybe 10 to 6 p.m., whatever it is. I just didn't eat during that time. The reason I stood by fasting outside of the biblical principles or outside of, the actual benefits your body physically gets, I was just a fat ass. I just wanted to eat food, bro. Like that's straight up. Like when I was bigger, I always craved Domino's thin crust pizzas. I always liked my Chick-fil-A, my Wendy's 4 Like those were meals that I liked. And I started to subconsciously fast because I wasn't willing to give up that food the first few months before I started to do all these things. So I started fasting first before any of these other things because I was like, okay, if I don't eat all day and then I just have one unhealthy meal, I'm technically eating less, so I won't be as fat. Did that work for a little bit? Yes. Was it very unhealthy and I was starving myself and I developed eating disorders and yada, yada, yada? Like, yes, I did that as well. But once you start to fast correctly, like I'm about to tell you, it's very beneficial. So if you don't eat for 16 hours, then you automatically are eating less calories, and you pair that with 1 and 4, which is you eat what God intended you and you fasted. It's legitimately a cheat code, right? Outside of all the physical benefits and the spiritual benefits it gives you, it's a cheat code because it's going to be harder to not eat if you don't snack all day. If you're regulated inside of an eating window, like that is much harder. And eventually, if you start to feel up for it, you can even branch out your fast. So you can do 18 and 6 hours, or you can do 20 and 4, right? So don't eat for 18 hours, don't eat for 20 hours. Only eat for 6 hours, only eat for 4 hours. I started to build myself up to do this because as I started to lose more weight, my cravings got way more extreme. So I started to kind of like push into a 20-hour fast because it would allow my cravings to not be so all over the place. Like I would just be like, okay, my cravings aren't as bad. I can drink water during your fast, which is a note. You can drink water, you can drink tea, 0-calorie tea, you can drink black coffee. You cannot have a calorie though. Anything over 5 calories breaks your fast, right? Good to know. But you can start to push out the fast. The more that you crave, you can start to push out the fast. If you have a bigger calorie deficit, you can push out the fast. If you just feel the need of, like you just enjoy it, or you have more weight to lose, right? But don't ever starve yourself in the fast, right? If you start to starve yourself with the fast, it's unhealthy. You still need to hit the macronutrients your body needs. You still need to hit your protein. You still need to do all these things. So it is a very, very important goal to follow, right? Once you can do all these things, like honestly, I would start with 1, go into 2, go into 3, go into 4. Once you can do all those things, you will 100% lose fat and track nothing. That is what's going to happen. So if this benefited you, please reach out to me if you it did benefit you. You know, reach out to me if you have any questions. Comment down below. I will respond to every single person. If you have questions about how to actually lose weight and not track a calorie, but you don't need to like strip yourself away from enjoyment, right? I remember days I used to like skip out on meals with my family, like not hang out with my dad and his wife. Like I wouldn't hang out with my stepmom or my dad. Like I wouldn't hang out with my mom. I wouldn't hang out with my girlfriend's family because I was so fucking dedicated to losing weight that it took me away from enjoyment, right? Because I wouldn't eat all day. I would just starve myself, right? But now that I can follow these rules, which like now I do a 16-hour fast in an 8-hour window, I can eat all day. I can eat what I want. I can enjoy it with my family. If I stop eating at 12 or start eating at 12 and I end at 8, that's very reasonable, right? If I start to eat what God intended me to, I can have flexibility later on and have maybe a 10% meal, which is those 2 meals that I get every week. I can be flexible. Like it does benefit me. I stay lean year round. I'm strong as an ox. I feel great. My energy's through the roof. I'm able to focus and I don't strip myself away from all the enjoyment. And I hope that you guys don't either. So if you have questions, DM me on Instagram. If you have questions, just comment them down below if you came from YouTube. But I hope any of you guys can benefit from this because it benefited me my whole entire life.